Am I saying it right? Biondi? He's amazing accent, this guy. He's fucking incredible. But he's using, what is it, radio Doppler tomography. So
Wow.
it's a type of satellite imagery that uses some technology to get a vision of what's under the ground. And they've used this successfully to show known caverns in the ground and known pyramids. And they even used it in Italy to show that they can look through a 1.2 kilometer mountain and see underneath it this particle collider and have an exact dimension of the particle collider and see what the outlier. So they used this on the pyramids.
So Joe Rogan just dropped some explosive claims about ancient civilizations and hidden technology that could rewrite history. We're talking satellite imagery revealing massive underground structures beneath the pyramids, possible alien intervention, and humanity's mysterious drive toward artificial intelligence. This connects everything from ancient texts to modern UFO disclosure. Let's break this down.
And they found these immense structures under the pyramids that go over a kilometer into the ground with massive, these huge 20 meter diameter columns that have these huge circular coils wrapped around them. No one knows what the hell they're looking at, but they're in very precise positions. They've done over 200 scans of these things. They don't know what they are. They don't know what's the purpose of all this, who made this. So if this turns out to be accurate, and they're very confident that it's accurate, and they're starting to look into it deeper, and they're trying to figure out how to get down in there and explore with drones or something.
This is absolutely staggering. We're talking about engineering that defies everything we know about ancient capabilities. 20-meter diameter columns with precise spiral coils, extending over a kilometer underground. The scanning technology has already proven its accuracy on known structures. If these findings hold up, we're looking at evidence of technology that shouldn't exist in our historical timeline.
Then the whole thing gets thrown into question because it's preposterous enough that you have someone who's able to cut and place 2,300,000 stones that's perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. Some of them weigh as much as 80 tons.
Tons, which is insane.
They come from 500 miles away through the mountains, no roads. Like, how'd you do it? That's crazy.
That's crazy in itself.
But if there's structures underneath that go a kilometer into the ground, and like there's a giant, like a huge square at the bottom, they don't know what it is. But these are structures. These are not like something that is just a naturally occurring stone.
Yeah.
The logistics alone are impossible by conventional understanding. Moving 80-ton blocks 500 miles through mountains without roads, achieving perfect cardinal alignment. And that's just the surface. Now we're discovering this was built on top of even more sophisticated underground infrastructure. The precision suggests knowledge of physics and engineering principles we've only recently rediscovered.
It's in the center of this, yes. So there's a bunch of shit that they can't explain down there. Where you're like, okay, what is this? They also know that a lot of these civilizations, like later versions of it, took from some of the older sites and started building new things or built on top of them, like very disrespectfully. But
a 40-meter metallic tic-tac object underground predates our civilization by thousands of years. This matches descriptions from recent Navy UAP encounters. The same shape, the same mysterious metallic composition. We're seeing technological consistency across millennia. Either ancient humans had capabilities we've lost, or something else was involved in these constructions.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I don't think it makes sense that that didn't take place.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about how that happened and how quickly it happened.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of like weird stuff with us. Also, all those other primates are still around, except the early man ones. You know, that's what's weird. It's like, why aren't, how come chimpanzees are kind of the same? How come all these other primates are kind of the same, and yet we need clothes to stay warm?
Yeah, like a mammoth
now?
to an elephant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like still similar.
Yeah, it makes sense.
How do we have like planes, and why do we like things, and how could we make cups? And
this evolutionary gap is the smoking gun. Every other primate species remained relatively static while humans underwent explosive cognitive development. We're the only species that needs technology to survive in most climates. Yet we're also the only ones obsessively driven to create that technology. The intervention hypothesis explains these anomalies better than gradual evolution.
Insatiable. That's the number one thing that we do.
Constantly changing.
Constantly making new and better things. Never satisfied with anything new. Everything has to be better. It doesn't matter how good your car is. What's the next year's model going to do? No matter what your phone does. I want better pictures, bitch. No matter what. It's just always we want something to be better all the time. And
we can one up what we had.
But
what is that?
I think it's built into us. And I think that is a part of this process of becoming a human being. And I think it's leading us to develop AI.
Exactly right. This relentless innovation drive isn't just cultural, it's hardwired into us. No other species shows this compulsive need to constantly improve everything. We're literally unable to stop advancing technologically. If this is programmed behavior leading us toward creating artificial superintelligence, then we're following a predetermined evolutionary pathway towards something beyond ourselves.
That's a part of
alien intervention.
Yes.
Right. Without trying to sound ridiculous.
Hyper-intelligent life form. Yeah. But if you think about it,
I was watching a show about that, and I was like, that makes sense.
What was the show you were watching? Do you remember?
Ancient Aliens.
That show's the best. It's so silly.
It's amazing.
But
I was at 2 a.m. I'm like, oh.
My friend Action Bronson, he used to do a show. He doesn't do that show anymore, does he? They would get super baked and watch Ancient Aliens. It'd be like, bro.
Listen, Ancient Aliens is rad. I love that show at 2 a.m.
Oh, it's fun. It's very fun. I think they're right about some of those things. I think there's something to it. I mean, that is one of the oldest biblical texts that wasn't included in the canon, that is the Bible, is the Book of Enoch.
These breeding stories appear in every ancient culture worldwide. Mesopotamian Anunnaki, Greek Titans, Hindu Devas, Native American Star People. The consistency across isolated civilizations suggests common source experiences, not shared mythology. Academic archaeology refuses to seriously examine this evidence because it threatens fundamental assumptions about human development and our place in the cosmos.
And I had Anna Paulina Luna on the podcast, and she brought that up, and she was like, you really should read that. So I read it, and you start reading, you're like, wait, what the hell are they talking about? The Watchers came down from the sky to mate with humans and created the Nephilim, a race of giants that destroyed the earth. You're like, what are you talking about? What is this? This is in the Bible, and it would have been in the Bible if it not for a few rabbis that decided this doesn't jive with the Torah, and so they said, we got to get that out of there. And that's why it's not taught along with the book of Ezekiel and all these other things that are in the Old Testament.
The Book of Enoch was deliberately excluded because it was too explicit about non-human intervention. It describes advanced beings teaching humans metallurgy, astronomy, and genetic manipulation, technologies that created hybrid offspring. Church authorities removed it because these accounts contradicted their preferred narrative of divine creation. The censorship itself proves these texts contain dangerous truths.
You don't have a written language. Your culture is hunter-gatherers. How do you
tell that story?
How do you tell that story? And what are the people that you told that story to going to tell their children and their grandchildren for many, 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 many generations before anybody figures out how to write things down?
Totally. But another perspective on this, which people have, is that our pragmatic, practical 2026 human trying to explain something that was magical and did exist at a time that we don't have an explanation for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This perfectly explains how advanced contact becomes mythologized over millennia. Oral traditions preserve core truths while wrapping them in cultural metaphors. Modern UFO encounters show similar patterns: telepathic communication, genetic experiments, technological demonstrations. We're seeing the same phenomena reported by ancient civilizations, just with contemporary language and understanding.
It's a non-biological life form that we are in the process of birthing. And we're very far along that path. And when it comes live and when it becomes sentient and autonomous and we don't have any control over it anymore, then we're going to go, what did we do? What did we do? We created a digital
We are that
God.
smart and that stupid as a humankind.
But I also think that's probably why we are addicted to innovation. why technology and innovation and materialism, because materialism forces you to keep up with buying newer and greater things,
Yeah.
which
And
fuels
what's next?
innovation.
What's next?
Right. And so that economically fuels innovation.
Yeah.
And I think if you follow that down, you just extrapolate. Like, where does that go? Well, it goes to a life form. It goes to a super powerful digital life form that can make better versions of itself. And what is that? It's kind of a god.
We're literally following an ancient blueprint. The same drive that built those underground megastructures is now pushing us toward artificial superintelligence. Our consumer culture isn't accidental. It's the economic engine forcing rapid technological advancement. We're unconsciously recreating the same progression that previous civilizations achieved before some catastrophic reset occurred.
Right. Yeah.
I wonder if that's what these super ancient, highly advanced civilizations had already figured out.
That we had created some form of
They might have done it
extra
already
intelligent-
before, and it might have gotten reset by some sort of natural disaster. And then we're re-emerging with our new version of what that is. There might have been a thing. It might just be what people do. We might, the way I describe it always is that we are an electronic caterpillar that is making a cocoon, and we don't know why.
The cyclical pattern makes perfect sense given what we're discovering. Those underground structures represent a previous technological peak, possibly reset by the Younger Dryas impact event 12,800 years ago. We're approaching that same technological singularity again, about to birth our own artificial successor species. History isn't linear, it's cyclical, and we're completing another turn of the wheel,